Well, last day of our Colorado archery mule deer hunt, which I believe, if I look at the calendar, for me anyhow, is the last day of my 2018 filming schedule. It started July 30th in Alaska, gonna end November 30th here in Colorado. 4 straight months of travel and hunting and everything else. And I believe I'm still married. When I called home last night, I was anyhow. But it's crazy to think this is my 11th year of doing this. I think today is the day just to go on a stalk. Maybe it'll be a big buck, maybe it'll just be an average buck, but the stalk is the fun part. Whether or not I'll even put any tension on my string, who knows? Chilly out here this morning.
Nice.
Finally, this is the biggest bodied buck we see. He looks really, really old. Almost like he must be on a downhill slide. Oh, here comes another buck. But he's probably 23 or 24 wide, heavy. Backside, G2 and 3 barely fork at all. Got a decent front on that side. And the right side is, the passenger side is significantly better. So we saw this nice buck this morning. Been keeping an eye on him, but he pushed his does up around the corner into this little cut. Right now there's still 2 does out in the sun, but I think we're gonna have to reposition later today and get where we can look back in there. There's a big point out there. I'm hoping that would give us an angle, but right now I've lost him. Well, the buck had 5 does this morning. They went back in this cut. I've been watching them all morning. Now his 5 does have come out, and they're 500 yards east of him and moving. And he's not around, so I'm gonna make a big loop out to that point with my spotter, see if I'll have a little bit better angle. I'm gonna look down in there before I give up on him. Dang it. It's one of the problems, I guess, with the rut. The deer are a lot more visible, but you never know what a buck's gonna do. He might just bed down and stay there with his doe, or he might pack up and go, or I don't know, maybe there's a 6th doe and he's in there with her. it's worth an hour around and back to find out. So I'll give you an update when I get back. In the meantime, I'll let you go find another one.
Okay. All right, so Randy just is going to do a big loop. I'm back here at our original glassing spot, and I'm gonna try and locate a buck. We've seen a lot of deer down in this bottom, and as the day progresses, it's about 9:30 right now, and it's getting a little bit warmer. These deer like to bed in the shade of these canyons and draws and whatnot. So I'm gonna sit here and glass, and hopefully Randy will come back all excited that he relocated that buck. But if not, I'm gonna try and find one for him.
Found him. He's all by himself. Those does all left. He's laying on a little knob. When I first found him, he was up looking that way, and he could see he's kind of doing this, and he just put his head down, and he is sleeping like he's dead. But with the sun coming up, I think he's gonna sleep for maybe an hour or so. Hopefully 2 hours. If he sleeps 2 hours, we'll get in on him. He's gone. So, what's going on here is we saw this buck this morning at daylight. He was out here on this bald kind of flat below that hill, and he was chasing every buck, running them off. He had a group of does, and he pushed them back in this little notch, and we lost him. So I made a big loop over to that point over there with the spotter, found him just laying with his head down. Came back, got Michael, and then we drove way down here, and we came in a different way. And by the time we got here, he was gone. But I saw a couple, right when we got here, I saw a couple deer move to the right. And we've been sitting here for over an hour, and nothing. All of a sudden, he comes out with his doe, and there's a second doe in there. And it's now about 12:15. I think that's going to be their day bed in there. If the wind is coming the same direction it is up here, could be a good setup. And there's only 2 trees that they're hidden behind. If we drop down here, they're not going to see us. I don't know. We might end up out of view for a little bit where they could get up and move, but definitely an approach angle if the wind is helping us. So now that we got up that ridge, we're down here, and the wind direction is about 180 degrees different, which isn't a surprise. I think about how the sun is hitting this face. My worry is it's going to be going up that way too. It never stays the same direction. switch from hard east to straight up the hill. Right here is where the buck was bedded. The 2 does were bedded right there. Well, I said I wanted another stalk. I got another stalk, but look, the does are sitting there looking at us right now. The buck is, look straight up the hill. The buck's to their left. They're back in that same little spot. Stay here. If they come across that hillside over there to the right, I'll sneak over. There he goes.
Do you want me to stay?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Hold on. Well, actually, you might be able to go if he can't see you.
He's 50, but I can't thread it through there.
Randy.
One of the lessons of this stock, one I already knew, is you just can't trust the wind. That's what screwed us up. But we did not give up on the stock. What we did is Michael stayed put, and they were dialed in on him. And when they went into some brush, I dropped down and made a big loop through this next drainage, came up right underneath them. They didn't know what I was. There was so much brush. And then I was able to start coming back up the hillside, just 5-6 yards. And now I'm like 30 yards. That doe and the fawn were at 30.2 yards or something like that for the longest time. Like, come on, buddy, just come on down. And he never did. And then the doe started walking out right about in here somewhere. And he stopped right there. And I ranged him. I had just over 35 yards. As I got ready to shoot, off they went. I said I wanted another stock. I got another stock. It didn't quite go how I wanted, but that was a super nice buck. I'm gonna go grab my pack and cross this big sand flat and get up out of here before this rain comes. It looks like we're in for some rain, which is not good. Not good at all for what we're doing, because the road out of here is grease. Well, folks, the wind is picking up, storm coming in, the hunt has come to an end. We tried really hard, we came really close, and I will be back. Who was it, MacArthur, who said in the Philippines, I shall return? Well, I shall return. Southeast Colorado is not a one and done for me. Appreciate you tagging along. Hope that our couple stocks were worthwhile. Showed you a lot of deer footage. And if anything, I hope you go do something that you always said you would do. Something that you'd been talking about, but you always found reasons not to do. Go do it. And thanks for watching.